Hi, today I'm going to talk about enterprise design patterns, specific the table model pattern with Python and MySQL. The table model design pattern is commonly used to techniques in database-driven systems. This pattern helps organize business logic and interpretation with database tables in clear and structured way. In this article, we will explore how to implement this pattern using Python and MySQL. You can find and test the solution implement in this repository. What is the table model pattern? Table model pattern organizes the business logic relates to a single database table into a class or model. Unlike patterns that encapsulate business logic within domain objects, the table model handles the business logic in one place, making it easier to manage and modify interaction with the database data. This pattern is typically used when an application needs to perform basic CRUD operation on specific tables data, a single object, the table model, and manage all interaction with the table and provides methods to access the records. Key characteristics of the table model pattern: centralized data access logic, direct database handling, and no complex domain objects. Why use the table model pattern? This pattern is suitable for scenarios where you need access to database table, but there's no need for a complex domain object representing each record. The business logic is simple and can be encapsulated directly within a model. The system mainly relies on simple database operation without managing complex relationships within entities. Implementing the table model pattern with Python and MySQL. Now let's implement an example of the table model pattern using Python and MySQL. We will create a database store DB that contains a table called products. We store information about products in a store. The file structure to keep the code organized, we divide the implementation into three files: dbconfig file, product table model file, and main file. And for the database, I use MySQL. First, we need to create a database and the products table. If you haven't installed MySQL yet, you can do so via the terminal. This is the script for create the database, store DB. There are a demonstration in MySQL. Next, Python code for the table model pattern. The file called dbconfig.py. This file handles the connection to MySQL database. Ensure you have the MySQL connector installed. There are execute pre-install MySQL connector py, and this the code for the file. Next, file product table model.py. Here we implement the product table model class linked with a database to perform CRUD operation on the product table. There are the scripts, the file main.py. This file runs the application and uses the product table model to interact with the database. There are the scripts. Then running the program. Once you create the files and set to the database, you can run the program with the following command: python.py. Here there are a demonstration. This is the output of execute python main.py. This should display the current products, add a new product, delete a product, and then display the results again. The table model conclusion. The table model pattern is a usual approach when you need to work directly with database tables rather than creating complex domain models. It allows you to centralize the logic related to database interaction in one place, making the application easier to maintain and evolve. In this article, we demonstrate how to implement this pattern using Python and MySQL to manage a product table. This pattern is particularly well suited for simple applications or those that do not require complex domain models but still need to interact efficiently with the database. Remember, if you want to try the code yourself, feel free to clone the repository, this repository, or check out the result in the GitHub Action section. This result. Thanks.